So the next question is isomorphic string. So in this question we are given two strings s and t. Determine if they are isomorphic. So two strings s and t are isomorphic if the character in s can be replaced to get t. Okay, so all the occurrence of character must be replaced with another character while preserving the order of character. No two character may map to the same character, but the character may map to itself. So what they are given is, so if string s is like e, g and g, and t is a, d and d. So what they are saying is e is being mapped to a and g is mapped to d. So once this is done, we can't have that g is mapped to, let's say, I or any other character. That would result in false. We have to return false for that condition. So this is the condition that we need to check. Like for example, s is given as paper, so t is given as title. So here we could see like words are mapped. So p is mapped to t, a is mapped to I, and then again if p comes, then we have to check if it has already occurred and we have a key value pair or the reference to that particular character p. So if we already have one reference, then the t should be mapped to that. Sorry, p should be mapped to t. So after that, similarly we'll check for e and r. So what we could do is we could have a hash map where we will have all these characters mapped to each other, like character to character mapping we will do, and there we could have, like, we will iterate through either of the string, and then we will just put each of these characters in the key value pair. Like for s we have paper, right? So p and t will be there, and then a and I will be there, and then if we are checking for a other character like that has already been occurred, we will check the hash map first. We will check the hash map if that character already exists or key already exists, contains key, then we will use the value. We'll fetch that value and compare it with the value of t that is given. Okay, and similarly we could end up with the whole list. This is one way of doing it, but since in the question they have already given that s and t contains only valid ASCII characters, so ASCII characters are from like 128 characters, 7 bits. So we don't have to worry much on that. We could just have an array of 128 characters, but since many ASCII have like more characters, I have taken like we could take the array. So similarly, like we have two array, let's say map, and we have value. Okay, so these two array will contain the key value similar to what we have in the hash map. Okay, so what we'll do if we don't, like, we will iterate through let's say a string s, okay, to the length of that string, and we will see if like the value of map is equals to 0, and the value of value is equals to 0. Then we will insert new values, okay, for these, and since these are in characters, we have to convert let me put it here. Okay, so here I will have, okay, after this we could have it. So okay, so since these are in character, we will have to convert these to integer, and then we could store those values. Okay, so this is something like that is what ASCII value is being used for. And So since we have done this, then if like these character didn't already exist, like these ASCII values were not there in map and value, then we will check, then we will insert those values. So whatever the ASCII value of m is, at that position we are going to insert the value v, and similarly whatever the value of v is at that position we are going to insert m. And once that's done, we could just iterate through it. And if this is not the case, like we are not at the default condition of 0, then what will happen is we will have map m, and we will have value v, and we will have value v where we should have value of m. Okay, so this is the condition where everything is good, like here in the if we go to p and see the value of t in the map, then that's the correct thing. So in this case we will just continue, there is no issue in this execution. But if there is any other case, then we have to return false, because that means that when we have checked for paper, and we saw the value of p is mapped to t, so whatever ASCII value of t is there, that would be in the map for p character ASCII value will be there, and here we will be having the t character ASCII value. Okay, so if we check again the map array, then for this condition, and it has like let's say q, then q ASCII value, then that means we are that these two strings are not isomorphic. So that's the case where we could return the false statement. Okay, so yeah, else we if this is not the case, and we have iterated through the whole for loop, then we could just return true. Okay, so let's code this one. So here we have the code. So we have taken two array, map and value, where we have taken 256 so as the length of array. We could take 128, but just to be on the safer side, I had taken 256. And then we have converted the characters to integer value, and then we are checking for those integer values. If they are set to 0, that means that character didn't existed earlier for the initial case, so we are going to add that character to the arrays. So we have added that character to map as well as to value. Okay, and if we visited again, let's say for g ASCII value it was d, and then again we visited g, then we got d, that means that this condition is successful, and we will just continue with the with the next iteration. Okay, but either if either of these conditions are not successful, then we will go to other else condition. That would be like for the second g, the value is actually mapped to a different character, so that should return false. And that is how we have executed the whole for loop. And once that is done, we could just return true, because if we have iterated through the whole for loop and we didn't got any of the issue, then that means we are having isomorphic strings. So that's why we are returning true. So yeah, that is the end of this question.